Welcome back to the Unleashing. I'm your host, Jared Beeler. I want to make a video discussing the resurrection. I figured this would be a perfect day for it, since we're right before Resurrection Sunday, and I need to come up with something to make a video on. Things have been kind of quiet lately, so I thought this would be a good discussion, since it was kind of on my mind already. Interesting enough, a lot of times when I make videos, other watchmen are talking about the same discussion, and it's interesting how that happens, and I don't think it's just a coincidence, but I just got done listening to L.A. Marzulli, and he was talking about the Shroud of Turin, and I'm like, oh, how interesting. That's where I'm going to be going with my conversation as well. But I just listened to it. It was about 20 minutes long, and he was talking about the authenticity of it and stuff, and I already know that it's real too, and I've discussed that before, but I was going to fall right into what we're talking about. I heard something new when they were photographing the image of it for the first time, like 110 years ago, first time. The guy that photographed it didn't realize that it was a negative image, like on old film prints when you take it in. So when he developed the pictures and looked at them, it came off three-dimensionally, and he about dropped it, and I thought that was kind of unique. It's extremely unique, especially, for all those that think that it's fake and stuff like that when it's not. And it was interesting to listen to and stuff, and but I'm going to take it even further, that it's absolutely 100% correct. But the whole idea of it being fake or anything like that, it can't be reproduced even to this day. So for it being a forge or anything like that, it's just silly talk. But to get into the discussion, they have been able to recreate, and we've seen it before with nuclear explosions where the people vaporize and basically their essence is left on the wall. And like I was just listening to when the image was plastered onto the cloth that was around Jesus, the shroud, right? At the time that it happened, just unbelievable amounts of energy and light all at one time to create this three-dimensional time-stopping image that happened in an absolute moment in time, and it's absolutely incredible. But after scientific calculations on what it takes for image to be imprinted on the carbon and the cloth and stuff like that, I've discussed it before. For that to have taken place, it was estimated to be 34 trillion watts. And in a comparison of this, I've brought this up before, because they calculate production of electricity on the earth, factories and stuff like that, each country, city to city, town to town, and they were able to identify how much energy and stuff we use on the planet. And because progressively, as we've gone through time, we use more each year, it's growing. But just to make an example, in I think it was 2018 or 19, it took 1 hour for the entire Earth, every nuclear reactor, facility, coal burning form of energy that there is everywhere on Earth that we have recorded all at one time. It takes 1 hour to create 17 trillion watts. And the image that was created on the Shroud of Turin was 34 trillion watts. So for an example, it would take 2 hours of the entire Earth's energy just to reproduce what happened in an absolute nanosecond, right? To create this image. We're talking unfathomable amounts of power. And I took it a step further over this week, and I don't know what made me look it up, but I wanted to see if I could get a comparison. And of course, there is a breakdown that they can do with joules of energy and stuff like that, and it equates to 1,530 nuclear warheads going off at once. So when Jesus woke up, when he came back to, and when he created that image in the cloth, when, as L.A. Marzulli says, 100 billion points of light all at once. When that took place, it was the equivalent of 1,530 nukes going off in the tomb. We're talking unbridled power, and it was bridled because I've said before, if he would have woke up groggy on the bed, stretch it out a little bit and really run that light, he would have melted the planet in half. It would have just incinerated everything. But for that split second, he stopped time and space, and that flash of light of him coming back to was the equivalent of 34 trillion watts and 1,530 nukes all at once. And it's incredible power. Obviously, it can't be reproduced. It doesn't exist anywhere else on the planet. Nobody can make anything like it. There's nothing or anything that compares to it. So for any forgery or anything like that, the point is that it can't be reproduced at all. And it's dated back to the time when the crucifixion happened. So there is no fakery around it at all. It's 100% real. And it just goes to show that awesome power that God has in a split second, what he can do. It's really unique, and I've discussed it before. Obviously, you guys have heard it a bunch of times. I'm talking about the rapture and stuff, and when we get changed, when we are like him, when we become like him, as the Bible says. The power and abilities and everything that comes with that is such an incredible responsibility, and it really gets into why the test is so difficult, and what Jesus did for us to give us an opportunity to be a part of it, to be into the family, to die for our sins, past, present, and future, that we can rely on. It makes you want to step out in a grateful manner and walk righteously, repetitively, in forgiveness in our daily lives, and not to go down the once saved always saved path that's so dangerous, that's led so many astray, where they can do whatever they want ungratefully. It's an incredible gift, and it's why we were fearfully and wonderfully made. Because what's going to be bestowed to us is unimaginable power. And of course, it stopped me in my tracks on my whole crusade for power. I realized there is nothing here that you could ever achieve or hope for or try to be a part of that is any equivalent whatsoever to the power that's going to be bestowed upon those that love him. So the ultimate goal then is to take that even further, since there is rankings and power levels when we get to the other side, to put everything that you possibly have into that walk that you have selflessly. And it's why honor is the most important thing that you'll ever have, which is selflessness and your life, to do everything honorably. You're watched constantly. Everything is written down your entire life, and it's the most important thing you'll ever do, to give your life to Jesus. Ask him into your life, and then continue to walk with him and be that example as a Christian. Because everything that we do honorably in this life is recorded and bestowed, and it will roll over to what he has planned for us in the future, and it's just absolutely incredible. I told you for those 15 seconds that I was blasting up, there's nothing like it. I've never felt power or joy or anything that's even equivalent, and that was just the first moments of that instant transformation that'll take place, which is very soon, by the way. It's momentarily away. We're so unbelievably close to the rapture that it's just blowing my mind. I'm kind of in like a calm stage. I don't even know if I really need to talk about anything anymore. It's right there. We're right there at that point now. So, but being resurrection, weekend, I wanted to kind of discuss, especially since it's been on my mind. I've been thinking about it. 1,530 nukes going off in the tomb. Imagine standing next to that thing for a split second. Everything was probably transparent. It's like standing on the surface of the sun. It's absolutely amazing. But and that's just a little taste, So when I was looking in his eyes in 2014, and there's just an inferno of awesomeness back behind the color, and I'm like, wow, your eyes look just like Dragon Ball Z. For those that don't know what it is, that's an anime. But anyways, it's just absolutely incredible, and him lighting that thing up like that is it's just a little taste of the power and light. When people say they've seen the Lord, or they've been to heaven and stuff like that, and he's just clothed in light and brightness, like you can't really imagine the power and prestige that we're talking about here, and you literally have to be changed to appreciate it the whole next level, because it's going to be totally awesome, and we're going to get to see it here really, really soon. It's going to blow our minds. But we're about to step out of this world and into something far bigger than any of you can possibly imagine. Listening to somebody talk the other day, talking about the matrix, which is a definition of the womb. He was talking about the Bible and stuff like that, how it's mentioned. But I was thinking about it. When we're in the womb, our original Matrix. That's our whole universe. That's a world that we're part of. We're in control of. That we think it doesn't get any bigger than that. I was just listening to this, thinking about it, and then when we're birthed into the world here, into this next matrix that we're in, we look at the planet Earth, we see the size of it. None of us will be able to explore the whole thing, or even with our entire lives. It's just too big. There's too many places. They still find new places. And this is just the Earth. We're talking galaxies upon the billions and trillions and light years of distance. So unfathomable, it's unbelievable. And it is finite. It does go to an end and to a size that's small. They've determined that, But this is literally our next matrix, which is our staging ground, which is our test that we're being run into. When we step out of this, when we get changed in that moment, in that twinkling of an eye, we're about to step into another world and look at the progress that changes from the womb to where we are now with the size of the universe. You're going to change again, and that same doubling effect rollover that you see from the size of your mother's stomach to the universe is going to happen once again when it changes into something even bigger. You can't imagine. Do I think that it goes bigger than that? Yes, I do. But that's going to be in times way past 1,000 years when that discussion happens. But we're going to be going into a universe and world that's so big that we can't grasp it. We can't understand it just yet. It's more than our minds can handle. We're right here. We're just trying to pass this test for the time being before we get brought in, as family members. And he's got other things planned that he's going to show us, and things are going to happen that we don't know about. But it's going to be absolutely amazing. And it's so big. When listening to people talk about the world and what they want and things like that, in the understanding of what I'm talking about here, it's so petty. It's so small for the things that the world gets bribed off on and wants and will sell their soul for what God has planned for us. It's unimaginable. It's bigger than your mind can wrap its head around, and it's never entered your heart or being whatsoever because of how large it is. We just can't comprehend it right now, but it's going to be amazing. And yet again, why the test is so difficult, why there's so much it feels like we go through sometimes, and why it's not so easy. But it will be worth it every day that you're going along. You're picking yourself back up. You're asking for forgiveness when you do mistakes, and you're still continuing on in this race. It will be worth it. And we're right to the finish line. It's just about to happen, so hang in there. But it's going to be bigger than you can possibly imagine, and you have to be immortal. There's no other way around it. If you're going to see, explore, know, even have the conversations that are going to last, you have to be immortal to even take part of this. So it's a quite the care package that we get, and you get, for asking the Lord into your life, and choosing to follow Him. It's the ultimate gift, and it's the gift that keeps on giving. And we have nothing but gratefulness to be grateful for with Him. It's going to be amazing, and it makes perfect sense. Why they're casting their crowns in heaven, because of the things and stuff that He bestows. I mean, we're just not worthy, and for Him to do it lovingly like a father, the gifts and stuff, and to lay down His life, for us, it's amazing. But a truly grateful thing, and very exciting to think about. But we're right there, and we get to think this weekend, what He did for us, laying down His life, and it's truly incredible to come from so much power, so much prestige, so much awesomeness, and to step down into the very test that we're in, pass it flawlessly, and then lay down His life with the most honorable possible. There is nobody that will ever be more honorable than Jesus Christ. He's the ultimate, and we strive to be like that always, and we come so short, but thankfully He's faithful to forgive when we come to Him, and it's why we strive to be the best that we can. You don't fake it till you make it. You just get back up and you try harder every day, and you keep pushing and walking in the direction that you're supposed to, and it's all being watched and recorded, and there's nothing you can get by God. He sees everything in your motives, and if you have honorable motives, like I've always said, that is what you want to put your stock in, is honor always in your life, and continue to do that, because that's what's going to be tested in the fire when we go to the judgment seat, the Bema Seat judgment, and the rewards and the things that are handed out. And the more you have, the better it's going to be for you. And you know, if you've done that during your life, it's going to be awesome. So don't stop now. Keep going, because we're right there. We're right at the finish line. Just a little something that I want to bring up. I want to do a quick little video and talk about it. And it's really cool to always think about the power of God and His awesomeness. 1,530 nukes all in a nanosecond going off in that cloth, and him keeping the cloth together at the same time. Just poof. It's amazing. It's really amazing to think about, and cool. And there's a lot more things in store that we're going to get to see. It's going to be totally badass. But hang in there, because we are right there, and it's moments away. So keep looking up. God bless. I'll catch you next time in the leash, and I'll see you in the air. Thanks a lot. Bye.